Why so many companies are terminating a lot of people? Because of bad economy? Maybe yes, but performance? Yeah, maybe. But then, why companies are terminating a lot of employees even though they are making really good performance and the economy has no problem? Why? For example, Panasonic, one of the giant company in the world, right? But they announced that they recruit employee who want to have an early retirement with condition of 400,000 US dollar retirement pay. Why companies pay such a big amount for their employee termination? I guess most of people watching this today is maybe employees, right? But today, I'm gonna explain very simple, like anyone can understand, even the kids. But first of all, the key to understand all of this is an investor's view.
Here's an example. Who owns a company? Most people say a president does, but actually it's wrong. A company is owned by shareholders. Initially, shareholders invest money in the company, the office and your father's salary, and the employees work and everything works. So we can say the shareholders are the kings of the companies. And the CEO, which we call a president, is the representative of the person to manage the company, which is the person hired by shareholders. That means that shareholders have the power of firing even the presidents. Now, have you ever considered things from the perspective of shareholders? No, a ton of people have not done it, and they failed. And then, people who haven't considered it will get fired. So let me explain the perspective of shareholders.
Alright, before this, I have one simple question. How many of you are donating most of your salary? I guess 99% of people are not doing it, right? You remember this and keep watching.
Much like everyone else, shareholders have a job, and that job is to take maximum risk. For example, you want to start a restaurant business. However, it requires $10 million. You didn't save money, but you have two options. One of them is to take out a loan from a bank, and the other is to take a loan from an individual. Even if your restaurant ultimately fails, you've made a promise to repay the loan. On the other hand, if your restaurant succeeds, you are only obligated to pay a certain interest rate. Whatever the outcome, success or failure, the risk is yours alone. In case of investing, you are not required to pay back the investor. Even if your restaurant fails, the risk is shared by the investor. Therefore, in the case of success, the investor is entitled to a proportionate share of the money that you have made from your restaurant. So you can do things like this. Let's say if you don't like returning all profits to investors, I'll invest $5 million. But investing $10 million is a little bit risky. So I'd like to collect a half of $10 million. This is a mechanism of a corporation that makes ratio calculation easier. A stock is a certification of the right you and I can get a return.
Why so many people complaining even though they don't have even 1 penny risk, right? Even 1 penny. So I feel every time strange why they don't just quit if they don't like their job, right? Anyway, keep watching.
And since some investors take risk, the company your father works for now exists. Like your father can get paid, shareholders can get paid. There's two types of salary for shareholders. One of them is dividend and the other is capital gain. Dividend is a share of stocks like, this year we get a lot of profits, so we'd like to return the favor for shareholders who take risk. So we'll pay $1 per stock. An executive actually makes this decision. However, the king is shareholders, so an executive has to listen to the shareholders' opinion carefully and announce stock dividend with reading their faces. If it's a small amount, they won't agree with your decision and you will get fired. The other is capital gain. It means that you buy stocks when it's cheaper and you sell it when it's more expensive. It's the same concept as fish sold at grocery stores.
Most of rich people are making a lot of profit from this capital gain. But the question is how the stock price is being set. Let's say if you're a business owner, how you set your business value, your business price. How do you do that?
What if your restaurant succeeds and you start to think of selling it to someone? How much do you want to sell the restaurant that makes $10 million profits every single year? Won't you sell it for about $10 million, right? You are correct. Since next year, the restaurant may make the same amount of profits or more than that. You will definitely predict about 5 years. So I think you would sell it for $50 million. Yes, stock prices are made by expectation. You can expect the same amount of profits for 5 years, so it's necessary to calculate the expected price for about 5 years to convert it to the current stock price. It's called evaluation. $1 out of $20 million is expenses and the rest is profit. And you say you can sell your restaurant for $50 million. However, what if there is not working employees? He doesn't contribute to the company at all, but his annual income is $5 million. From an executive perspective, it's just a waste of $5 million. But for shareholders, there is more damage. Let's think of previous example. If there's $20 million profits and $10 million out of $20 million expenses and the rest, which is $10 million, are profits, then a company reduces the labor cost by $50 million. If that's the case, the profits will become $50 million and the company's value will turn to $75 million. Actually, for shareholders, useless labor cost will be about 5 times more damage. Like the previous question I asked, you said you don't donate a big portion of your salary, but it's the same for shareholders to donate money to useless labor costs. Like you don't want to donate useless labor costs, shareholders don't want to do it too. That's why even though Panasonic pays a $40 million pension to cut laborers, eventually Panasonic will get profits. This is the reason why even though companies are in the black, they keep laying off.
So I guess now you understand why so many companies are terminating a lot of employees even though their business are growing and they're making really high performance. So what I want to say is a lot of people telling you, get a job at the big company so your life is gonna be really stable, but it's 100% lie. So in next video, I'm gonna explain how the world is gonna change and what it's about a disparity society. So please subscribe my YouTube channel for more videos, and sometimes I do the YouTube live so you don't miss it. And also follow my Instagram. I'm daily posting my life in Dubai, or you're gonna enjoy it. Alright, see you next one.
A Japanese barbecue lounge, which originated on 17th Street in New York, also has a store in Japan. This is the story of Yakiniku Futago 17th, serving dishes that have been made under the supervision of a Michelin star chef. With famous customers like that of the world boxing champion Floyd Mayweather. Here, there is a mysterious secret door at the far end of the restaurant. Do you know the secret that is hidden behind this door? It was in 1920s America where a ban on alcohol was made. The making and selling of wine, beer, and spirits was made illegal. Before the ban of alcohol was to be enforced, there was a huge scramble of people stocking up on their supply. While this was occurring, high-end bars would create doors that would lead to rooms where they would secretly serve the wealthy class alcohol. This classy atmosphere and an extravagant interior is also loved today here at Yakiniku Futago. You too can come and experience what is behind the secret door.